Welcome to this video. I'm going to do another Too Tall Toby drawing here. This is going to be a jack bracket that he did in one of his tournaments. And for this one, just looking over the part drawing here, looks like all of the vertical dimensions we have here for the bosses, everything is coming off of the bottom plane for height. So that'll pretty much establish that it makes sense to make all of our sketches on the bottom plane for extrusion. We have some midline or mid-plane extrusions here for a rib on the front to back and going side to side, as well as having these holes all lined up with the origins of the fillets in the corners. So anyway, let's get started on it. So we'll start our sketch on the ZX plane, and we'll start off with a line and sketch a horizontal line first, and then we'll just drag off a triangle here. And if you drag over, if you're going to fill it, you can pre-select your first two holes here. You can drag over it, and now we can put in our holes here at 28 and apply that, and grab our second two and apply that. Okay, those are going to be a little bit long or a little bit tight here, so let's do a midline constraint. We'll pick these two circles or points and then the origin, and that centers everything up on the origin, so we can drag them off. And now these last two lines, grab that, and we'll do a fillet of 40 and apply that. And now we'll do a coincident between the center and the origin, and that takes care of that. Now let's throw some dims on here. From the front to the back here, we've got 170, and then between these two in the back we've got 140, and that completes our triangular shape. And while we're at it here, let's draw in this cutout shape. So let's see here, we'll do some parallel on these side lines, and then we'll dimension. That offset is 14. This is 14. This bottom line here to the origin is going to be 40. And this top line to the back fillet origins are going to be 37. Okay. And while we're at it here, I'm going to set this up so that, okay, we're going to put in circles for the holes in the back, and then we're going to put a reference line across there with a point in the center so we can locate the center boss after we get done extruding all this. And that will help set us up so we don't have to start throwing reference geometry on here. So let's see, we've got a circle here. That hole is going to be 28. Another circle over here is going to be equal to this first one. And then we'll just throw a reference line between these two with a sketch node in the mid plane, and then we'll select this node and go up here to grab this insert point from sketch and apply that and close. And now we can extrude this to a thickness of 18. Okay. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to sketch on our ZX plane again with some circles. And in the back, we're going to select our plane, draw our circles, and these are going to be they're 40 in diameter. Draw one there and one here with an equal constraint, and then we're going to do a concentric from the center point to the hole. And then while we're at it, we'll select these two arcs and convert those to regular figures, and then extrude them to a height of 37. Okay. Next, we're going to start another circle on the ZX plane. And now we can grab put this in the center here. This is going to be a diameter of 50. So let's do a coincident between this node and that point and extrude that to a height of 110. And then on the front, another circle. This time it's going to be on the origin, and that diameter is 55. And we're going to extrude this to a height of 60. Okay, so now we have all of our protrusions made. We need to put in a rib from front to back and side to side. So on the YZ plane, we'll start another sketch and bring up our line tool, and we'll just select the origin to begin with, come off horizontal, get a horizontal constraint on there, and then come up vertical and back to the front. Okay, we'll just do this vertical constraint here. And we'll grab a reference line and just sketch that in at a point. And then we're going to dimension from this node to the top of this boss. And that's going to be 5. The angle of this rib is 12. And we'll throw a dimension on here at 160. And now the final is we're going to do a vertical constraint between this node and this node. And what that gives us is, remember on our drawing, we had a rib 55 to the rib at this point. If our boss is 60 and the rib is 55, that means we only have to dimension 5 on the top here, and that gives us our rib position. Okay, so now we can extrude this mid-plane at is 14. And now that fills up that cutout nicely, going front to back. Now we're going to insert a plane on the back boss, and we'll set that symmetry axis. And then on this plane, we'll start another sketch. Start from the origin, just come on over a bit, horizontal, go up vertical, horizontal, and back down. Okay, this line will make that collinear with the top surface there. We're going to have an angle, or a dimension rather, from this node to the center. Is total width is 85, so it's going to be 85 divided by 2. The angle of our rib is 30 total, so 1/2 is 15. And then we're going to make another collinear between the top horizontal and this top of that boss. And now this could present us a problem here. So we want to make sure that this does not come into this hole. So we'll just pull it back a little bit And just to lock it down fully constrained, put a 10 on there and it looks good. Now we can extrude this to a mid-plane to a depth or width of 8. And with it still selected, hit your mirror tool, select your mirror plane, and the back rib is done. Okay, now we have 2 holes to put in here, so we bring up our hole tool, and the front hole is going to be a countersunk hole, and the diameter of our countersink is going to be 40. Hit tab a couple of times, get to our hole diameter of 20, and that's going to be through all. And our start surface on this top plane is right on the origin, and click OK. Next hole is going to be on this back surface here. That's going to be a countersunk hole. And if we start off with our depth is 38. Hit tab twice and we get to our countersink diameter of 36. Hit tab a couple more times and our hole is 20. And our condition is through all. And drop that on here, and then we'll add a concentric constraint, and that takes care of that. Okay, and the last thing we have here is some fillets that we have to put in here, and the fillets are 17. So I'll put a fillet on each corner of this cutout, and apply that. Okay, now we can turn off our sketches, turn off our planes, and we got to add material. Our material is 1060 aluminum, and look in our physical properties, calculate that to one place, and we have 1913, and that's what we need on our part. So that completes this part. So anyway, that's how you do that. See you in the next video.